get in a relationship now, probably might last on average probably like a year or 10 years even. If that's a good relationship nowadays. Could you believe that? So that's showing you right there. But the reason being is because everything's all out of fucking order.
Yeah.
Nothing's going by the biblical law.
You've got the wrong attitude, mate.
It's true though, man. You know what it is. Listen, my man, you're older than me. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, the thing is, I understand what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying, but it's not general.
It is general, bro. It is general. Trust me, man. There's a lot of men out here that have been screwed over because of the whole marriage situation, man.
There's a whole lot of
man.
that have
You
been
know the deal.
screwed over, yeah.
You know what's up, man.
But that's only one side of it. That's only one aspect.
It's been many men, my man. It's been
anyway,
many men.
I'll listen to you, fella. I don't want to interrupt your part.
That's all right. That's all right, man. That's all right.
So I was saying that a lot of the reason why a lot of young boys or young girls get together is based upon, oh, he's this tall,
right.
Or he looks like he'd be good in bed, or it's always short-term reasons.
Yeah.
Or 6-pack, 6 foot tall, he's getting 6 figures,
right.
666.
Well, she got a big house.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, it's all based upon lust. You know what I'm saying? But now, and that's why a lot of black women are Jake women are out there single mothers, because they got involved with a guy based upon lust. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's a gang member. He's affiliated with these guys. You know what I'm saying? It's all based upon status,
right.
Okay, or reputation.
That's another thing too.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not getting together. She's not getting together with the Israelite man based upon would he be a good father to my children?
And
okay, would it be a good? She's not thinking long term. The women of other nations, they think long term. And that's why you don't see single mothers among them at a high ratio like among our nation.
Right.
The women of our nation, they're all short term. And that's why it's also, like I said, it said, I know, oh Lord, I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly, therefore mercifully ordained that we may become aged together.
Exactly, because when you're looking at a child, when you're looking at relationships, when you get in relationships, what comes after getting a relationship between when a man and a woman gets together? Children come together. So first and foremost, in order for you to produce children, to get in a relationship, first and foremost, the mom has to be sorted out mentally, and the man has to also be sorted out mentally, and also financially as well. They have to have a house and places to stay. Okay, because if you produce a child, if both parents are poor and they're poor mentally because they lack of knowledge, or they're poor physically, how is the child going to be more productive if the parents don't have shit? You understand what I'm saying? And that's another thing too amongst the communities of our people. So-called black woman, she'll, like you said, brother, she'll get with a guy because he's cool, and he looks like the rappers on TV, what have you. But she won't really consider, is this guy conducive enough for me to have a child? Right. She'll just get with him because he talked a certain way or he spit some kind of game. But this is why you have to have an order in the household. You have to have, for example, the father has to be rooted in the household, in so much so that he's in charge of his daughter to make sure that his daughter gets the right kind of men. And the reason, I don't cut you, the reason why these women can't find the right men because they didn't have the proper parents to show them what the right men are. Okay, and there's no order in these households. That's the reason why everybody's getting in the wrong relationships, and it's all due because of lust. Read that again, brother, one more time. Read that Tobit scripture again.
So it's in Tobit 8, verse 6. Thou madest Adam and gavest him Eve, his wife, for an helper and stay.
Right.
Of them came mankind.
Right, there came mankind between Eve and Adam. Go on. Not Adam and Steve and Eve and Michelle. Right. Go on.
Thou hast said, it is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him an aid like unto himself.
Who is supposed to be the aider? The woman, your wife. Go on.
And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lust, but uprightly.
So he said, I take not the sister for lust. Read that again.
And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister for lust,
right, go on,
but uprightly.
But uprightly.
Therefore, mercifully ordain that we may become aged together.
That we may become aged together, and that's another point I want to make as well, because when you get intimate with a woman, you're supposed to deal with that woman for the rest of your life, and vice versa. It shouldn't be, I've dealt with this woman for let's just say 20 years, and then I'll go find somebody else, toss it to the side. No, you're supposed to deal with her for years as well. That's another thing. Because all you're gonna do is you're gonna be a whoremonger. You're gonna be getting with this girl. All right, you're gonna take her virginity from her, and then you're gonna deal with her for a certain amount of time, and then she's gonna buy herself again, and she has to find another guy.
Yep.
And she's gonna become a whore after a while.
Yep.
Basically.
That's what the scriptures say.
All right, so the woman that you deal with in terms of you taking her virginity away from as well, you gotta stay with her for the rest of your life. Go on, brother.
Leviticus 19 and 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore.
Right.
Lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness.
And what happens is that woman, she then loses respect for the man.
Yep.
Because she's already dealt with multiple different men. So
Baggage.
she doesn't understand
Yep.
the severeness of dealing with she doesn't understand. She's not gonna no longer understand the severeness of the law.
Yeah.
Okay? And then further to mount to more, you're gonna corrupt it too.
Yeah.
Instead she's gonna have multiple different spirits on her.
Yeah.
Because if you get with the average woman right now, the reason why they pop the pills and they trying to get themselves together, because they got all of them different spirits inside of them.
Yeah.
All of these different men.
Yeah.
When a man lays down with a woman and he inserts himself inside of her, he's putting his spirit inside of her.
Right.
So if she goes with another guy now, she's gonna have two spirits inside of her.
Yeah.
I did a video on that. It's called husband, and the word husband man. You know, when a woman refers to her man as being her husband, when she on a deeper level, she's saying he's my husband,
Right.
meaning he's plowing his seed inside of me.
Right.
Because the job of a husband was an actual occupation.
Right.
Where in the ancient world, there would be a man would have like an acre of land, and like he'd have 2 oxen. Like it says that Noah was a husbandman, meaning he had land, meaning he had oxen.
You got a piece of
Okay.
it coming.
And what he did was
something to say, 'cause you quiet,
he
man.
had 2 oxen and he had like plowshares, which is like an instrument that farmers had. A husbandman is basically a farmer.
Yeah.
Okay, he deals with agriculture and everything like that. And he had a plowshares that, and the oxen would tread the ground, and the machine would plow the ground as the oxen was going up and down the acre of land. And then there'd be a person behind them spreading seeds into the ground that's being broken up.
Exactly.
And that's what the husbandman would do. He'd basically he'd be like planting different types of seeds, you know, wheat, grapes, a vineyard.
And you said one word, to cut. That's what sex is all about.
Right.
What are you cutting into? You're breaking down, what is it, the vagina.
Right.
All right, they call this, there's another name for it, the hymen.
Yeah.
You're breaking the hymen up. So in order for you to sow seed, you have to break, what is it, the hymen, to sow the seed inside. So it's just basic. The Most High made everything basic and understandable.
Yeah.
That's why it says in the book of Genesis, brother, if you can get me that, it says not to mix seeds.
I was about to bring that.
Please get me that. Please,
Where?
brother. You have to get me that.
Where's that one?
That's
I'm trying to
it's
find
in the book of Genesis.
You sure?
Yeah.
Bring this one.
No, it's in the law. It's in the law. Yeah,
It's in the law.
Yeah.
All right, this is Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. And in those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. Verse 24. And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language,
Oh yeah, right. No? Right.
but according to the language of each people.
Yeah, that's going into something else, brother.
Yeah.
But to be honest, our men have always gone out with heathens.
Yeah, well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Please read that, brother. You have to read that, man.
So it says,
Pull it and read it.
No, it's not Genesis. He's already got it.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 19. Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind.
Right. So you ain't even supposed to merge in the different paddles together. Yeah, you ain't even supposed to do that. So let's say you have a bison. You're not supposed to merge the bison and the cow together.
Yeah.
Even on that level, man. Go on, brother.
But Esau do that.
Yeah.
Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed.
Read that again.
Leviticus 19 and 19, ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind.
Man, go on.
Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed.
You should not sow your field with mingled seed. So what does a woman do?
Yeah.
When she goes around sleep with different men, mingling seeds together.
Yeah.
That's why you have the term Mother Earth. Why is it called Mother Earth? Because in the earth, what do? You dig in the earth, right? And then you grow certain things. It could be apple tree. It could be also even tree. You even have resin trees as well. So any kind of seed that you break, that you put underneath the earth, okay, or anything that you're growing, is supposed to be the same seed, man. It shouldn't be mingled together. One seed is a different seed is mingled with this other seed. No. All right, you're supposed to do everything in order. There's an order to everything, man. You're not supposed to mingle seeds together. So, like I said, if a woman's getting together with two guys, what is she doing? She's mingling seeds, man. That's what she's doing, and that's off. Even when it comes to the clothing that you have on, we're not supposed to mix the different fabrics together.
Says it.
Go on, brother.
Reading on, neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee.
Right. Read that again.
Read the whole verse. Leviticus 19 and 19.
Right.
Ye shall keep my statutes. Thou shalt not let thy cattle gender with a diverse kind.
Right.
Thou shalt not sow thy field with mingled seed.
Right.
Neither shall a garment mingled of linen and woolen come upon thee.
Right, so that's just the whole ordeal. So you're not even supposed to mix the fabrics together. All right? If you're going to make something, it has to be of that same form. It can't be of a different form. Go on, brother.
St. John chapter 4 verse 16. Yahushua saith unto her, Go, call thy husband and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband.
Right.
Yahushua said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband.
Right.
For thou hast had 5 husbands.
Right, she was a seed mingler.
Yeah.
And
That's
he
what we
who
do.
thou now has is not thy husband, and that saidest thou truth.
Exactly, because what is a husband? A husband is a planter, one who plants seeds.
So she had different men putting ejaculating inside of her. Because a woman can never really say, you're not her official husband until you've had sex. You can't, you got different relationships. He's my hubby. Yeah, until he's popped you, he's not your husband.
Right.
Like, that's how we know that Mary and Joseph had sex, because it said that he was her husband.
Right.
Meaning he was plowing his seed in her.
Right.
That's, let me get.
And you do plow your seed, brother, but like when you get down with your woman, man, you are plowing. You are plowing.
And when you look at the word plow,
Consummation. Like when a man and a woman is married, that's consummating the marriage.
that's
innit?
consummating. That's consummating it. You're now married now. And now this is Matthew chapter 1, let me start with verse 15. And Eliud begat Eliezer, and Eliezer begat Mathan, and Mathan begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Joseph, the husband of Mary. Okay, so that shows that he was that husband. All right, and of whom was born Yahushua, who is called Hamashiach. Okay, so Yahushua came out of the loins of who? Joseph. And Joseph was of the loin of who? David. Okay? So that's another verse that proves that Mary had sex with Joseph. Okay? That's right.
Because you know what it says in in Genesis, it says by the sweat of thy brow thou shalt work.
Right? Because a woman, a man, he's really the caretaker of the woman. Okay? You're pretty much her chastiser. You chastise the woman.
Right.
Alright? But now this is Sirach 26 verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
But brother, can I say one thing though before you go before you go forward, because right now, when you're having sex with a woman, sometimes you sweat. So why you sweat? Because you working, you putting that work.
Putting that work. That's right.
So it's the same thing when you digging into the earth and you planting your seeds. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why it says in Genesis. Matter of fact, keep going, brother. Keep going.
Right. If that daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself over much liberty. Right? But now, right, so the man was going to take care of the woman. Because a woman is almost like, she's there for sex. She's a sexual creature. Okay? She's a very sexual creature. So a man has to discipline that, man. Because a woman represents confusion, a man represents order. Okay? But now, this is jumping into verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed.
Right, sow it with thine own seed. Again. So it's only it's only one form of seed. There's no two forms of seeds. It's only one form. Because the Most High is about bringing forth peace and tranquility. So if you have two, let's just say, like we just read in the law, Leviticus 19. If you have a field of cattle and you putting them all together, what are you creating? You're creating war and confusion.
Right.
So let's say, for example, you have a female cow and also a male bison. They're gonna bring something that shouldn't be mixing. That's why it's also in the law that if you're an Israelite man, you're supposed to really deal with the Israelite woman, which is true. That's very true. Okay, because the Most High is not dealing with this confusion, which the word "con" means with, and the word "fusion" means to mix together. So the Lord is not about mixing together. Okay, that's why when you read the book of Genesis chapter 11, it talks about the Tower of Babel, when all of the nations came together as they were supposed to by the command of Nimrod. The Lord totally decimated that whole area, man. But he did it spiritually by using the angels to confound the languages of the people, so that the people don't fuse together.
Yeah. And believe it or not, health-wise, I look at things health as well, from spiritual and health. There's that side effect from dealing with women from outside your other nation, health-wise. And I just want to say, with that pill, when the pill was introduced, they said it was going to, for the women, it was going to save the problem with women becoming pregnant. It actually made them more promiscuous.
Right.
Because then they can have multiple relationships, multiple men, which they do. So it made the Edom, particularly the Edomite woman, more promiscuous when the pill was introduced. Because women, the Edomite woman is all about liberty. She's not loyal.
That's why it's more than our porn stars, black women.
It's in their nature to be free-spirited and free, not loyal. Just do what you want and nobody don't tell you what to do. It's just in their nature.
Yeah, because there's no order. You need to instill order when you're dealing with the female.
Yeah.
Because from the beginning, she's just going to go out there and do what she want to do. That's why you have the fathers that are head of the households. Right, not your moms. Go on, bro.
1 Corinthians 14 and 33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion.
Right, let's look up that word confusion, bro. I'm going to look it up.
But of peace, as in all churches of the saints. Well, what Esau will do will put a woman in the church.
Yeah, that's confusion.
So it says, he's not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. How you can have a church of the saints, but then you put a creature that's all about confusion, as being a pastor. You know what I'm saying? But it says, the Most High is not the author of confusion, going into what the brother said. You're not meant to mingle diverse kinds of cattle or seeds. Okay. You're not supposed to do that. So it says, there's other scriptures up there. So I was gonna read on Surah 26 and 20. When I
got the definition. And if you got a scripture, brother, just have him read it. You know. Yeah, this is accatation, right? Accatestation instead of the word there is instability, a state of disorder disturbance, confusion.
That's the nature of a woman. Instability. She's unstable. That's why when she gets with a man, she looks for the characteristic of stability. That's providing stability. Because you're like her counterpart. That's why if your character is showing instability in your character or some type of unstability, she can't get with you. She's more likely to be inclined to a man that's providing resources or has a stable character. He might not have resources, but he has some type of stability about him in terms of his character, financially. She's looking for stability somewhere, but why? Because she's unstable.
Right, exactly. Because like you said, brother, you said a woman is a sexual creature, which that's true. But she isn't just only for sex. She's also good to help you do other things around the house as well. So when you at work, you don't have to do all the, while you're at work, she's doing all of the bits and pieces as well. But you have women that are also known to be maids as well. That kind of sort of thing. You know what I mean? Go on, brother.
And I was going to read this. When I was gotten a fruitful possession in all the field, sow it with thine own seed. Meaning, when you have a fruitful possession, which is the woman. Okay? Sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. Now let's prove that's talking about, the possession is talking about a woman. This is Ecclesiasticus 36, verse 24.
Brother, you got to let him read that, man.
That's right.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Oh, okay. Y'all see what, brother? Read, go up again. Go up again. No, the one where it says, sow your own seed.
Right.
Can I ask you a question?
Yo, hold on, bro. Hold on.
Ecclesiasticus 26, verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed.
Right, sow with thine own seed. So that don't mean get together with your homeboy, you hitting the same woman. That ain't talking about that. You supposed to be the only man hitting that same woman, man. But you got a lot of them jakes out there in the world as well, in the States, and even down here too, they have that mentality. Yeah, man, that's my guy, man. Me and him, man, we hit the same woman, man, and all of that bullshit, man. The scripture says to use one man deal with that one woman. All right, because like we just read in Leviticus 19, what does it says? Not to mingle seats. So like I'm gonna say again, and we have to keep going over this over and over again. So if a woman is laying down with multiple different men, what is she doing? She's going against the law. Don't mingle no seats together. Go on, brother. That's what you're gonna have. And also, I'm gonna say this as well. Now, what happens is, and also, even this has actually been proven too. Now, when a woman has what is it? I just call it what it is. Let's just say she's got sperm inside of her body. Do you know some of those sperm cells actually stay in her body for the rest of her life?
Yeah.
Actually stays in there. They can't get rid of it. They can't do nothing about it. Those sperm cells stay inside of her for the rest of her life. So and the reason why the Most High made it like that, because she's an imprint of that particular man. You understand? The man that opened her womb and put his DNA inside of her. That's why it says what it says. That's why we can keep going.
Sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
Right.
So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified.
Right. This is thy race, right?
Yeah.
Thy race shall be magnified. So you're supposed to produce your race.
Right.
In that one woman. Go on.
Having the confidence of their good descent.
Right. Keep going.
Yeah, that's it.
No, there's some more. It says when a man begetteth a wife, he begetteth a possession.
That part, that's a different chapter.
Okay, give me that.
Ecclesiasticus 36, verse 24.
Yeah.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
Yeah, so what do you do if you have possession? Now, if you live in the rural area and you have cattle. Now, how would you know that cattle is a part of your possession? Because it's got your ink on it. Okay, it's got your stamp on it. Like, for example, if you have a letter that goes towards your address, first and foremost, it would have to have the stamp of your address on it. So it can go to your address. So it's the same thing with a woman. So if a woman has already been has already had intercourse with this one man, right, and her hymen was broken apart, the man's sperm cells is going to be in her for life.
Yeah, and they travel up the spine, up to the brain.
Exactly, which would then indicate that is his possession.
Yeah.
That's why it says in the law in Exodus, it says thou shalt not covet a man's wife. Because when you laying into another, when you laying down with another man's wife, what are you doing? You're coveting.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of evil that come out of that. You cover another man's possession.
Right.
That goes into stealing.
That goes into stealing again.
So you broken another law.
Yeah.
Stealing and also murder, because
Wow.
when you take another man's wife, it tells you in the scriptures it's like you rising up against your neighbor.
Right.
So that's also classified as murder also.
Exactly. So that's why.
Goes to all.
Yeah, just one more, brother. Right. Now, and that's why, and that's why I'm going to say this as well. Again, I'm going to say this again. This is why, you know, the DNA that's within the woman cannot be gone away, because like I said, that's the imprint. You can't take that away.
Yeah.
Okay, the Most High made everything basic and simple, man. And you got mankind, they setting up new inventions. The Lord said He made up man upright, but they sort of made inventions. You know, you got these women out here talking about, yeah, man, you know, I can do. If a man can sleep around, I can do it too. No, you can't, because a man is external. You're internal. So any man that you dealing with, you're gonna inherit their DNA. It's just that simple. Go on, bro.
Just one question. So basically, every single person basically is here, yeah? Because ain't nobody got nobody I know, mother was a virgin.
No, he wasn't.
What we're talking about is a general fumble going by the scriptures.
Yeah.
But in this day that we live in,
Yeah.
it don't work like that, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, it
You
doesn't.
see,
I understand.
You have to understand, yeah, on a real level, these women are also in the flesh also.
Yeah.
So you can't really expect on a real level that one woman, she's gonna be faithful to one guy
It's not gonna happen.
with her virginity to the day she dies in a
not gonna
society like this that's over sexualized.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Does that mean-
She's in the flesh, so that's why we're saying that the kingdom is to come.
Right.
So the woman of our nation they're gonna do righteousness before they even think about wickedness.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
You know? That's so
Because
they're in the
Yep.
flesh.
Yep.
They're in the flesh. So you can't
Put everything on the woman.
blame on because they're weaker vessels.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that's right,
Exactly.
that's right.
They're even weaker, so they're more inclined to the wickedness because it's more easier, something that they can deal with.
I was gonna say
righteousness,
that.
you can't put the righteousness on the law on the woman.
No,
you
can't.
can't even put the righteousness on the shoulders of our forefathers.
Exactly.
And our
Exactly.
forefathers weren't even able to keep the law. So how
Exactly.
much more the women?
Because if mankind is wicked, then how much more the women? Because man has become weaker, not just physically, but also mentally too and spiritually. Man has become weaker. So how much more the female? She's going to be even much more acceptable to all kinds of wickedness. More so. So, you know, the brother's correct on that. The brother's truly correct on that. You know what I'm saying? But we're just edifying the church. We're not talking down on no women at all. But if we do it to edify. All right, we do it to edify. You know, we're not just talking about the women because we feel like doing it. No, we're doing it because we're edifying the church. That's what this is all about. This is about edification. All right? Yeah, go on, bro. All right?
Job 39:17. Because God hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath He imparted to her
And
understanding.
that's another thing too. So not only are they weaker physically and mentally and psychologically, but they don't have no wisdom. The Lord didn't give them wisdom. So yeah, they're more acceptable to all kinds. That's why the man was created to what is it? To uphold and lead the household. And to direct his wife. Go on, brother.
This verse, I read it before, I read it again. Now it's got a fruitful possession through all the field is the world. You got a fruitful, meaning a fertile woman. Sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So really, that's the purpose. When you have a wife, you don't really desire for lust. It's really to carry on your race.
Exactly.
Like the word progenitor, which is interchangeable with the word forefather. Okay. The beginning, the origin or the beginning of a race starts with a man. It doesn't start with a woman. Like that's what the Jewish people they say that you're a Jew based on who your mother is. The woman is not the progenitor. She doesn't produce the genes. Okay. The word progenitor is ascribed to a man. A man begins his race. Like the progenitor of the Israelites is a man called a Yaakov. Okay. Man. Right. So it's But like it even goes deeper. This whole feminism is all about the worshipping of the Queen of Heaven, man.
Yeah.
That's where you see Jay-Z and these different rap artists on the stage. They hold up what you call the vesicle Pisces. And they hold up what they call the diamond sign. When you look it up on Wikipedia, it's called the vesicle Pisces. It's basically the worshipping of the woman's genital place.
Well, really, the prayer. This is the vesicle Pisces. This represents the the vagina, pretty much. But what Jay-Z does, that goes into the all-seeing eye, which that goes back to another thing too. That goes back to what is it, man? Is a sexual god that they believe in. I'm talking about the powers that be. Same what you're talking about. Now,
Fertility god, Esther?
now I don't think it's Ashtar.
Sex god, you say?
Yeah, it's a different god, but basically the eye god, that's like the all-seeing eye. And what that goes
Osiris. Is that Osiris? The one with the Egyptian.
Yeah, that's
The eye of Osiris.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Top of the pyramid, yeah.
Yeah, but and if you also look at the that particular image, it looks like a rectum too, and that's why behind closed doors they'll get these boys and have sex with these boys because they believe that if they have sex with these boys, they'll gain some kind of spiritual, sexual power. That all goes back to that. So when you see these rappers do the rock sign, what they're really saying is that they're a bunch of demons and a bunch of homosexuals, man.
Yeah.
And they like boys. They get in bed with boys.
So it's all a part of the agenda to push forward that spirit, man. Okay, the worshipping of the woman, okay, and the emasculation of the man. The man is in subjection to a woman. It's all confusing the patriarchal order of the Most High. The Most High is ordained. Right? It's basically.
So like when you said the emasculation of the man,
You know what I'm saying?
Spirit.
Yeah, that's a man. You know, nowadays, you see somebody from the back, you can't tell whether you can never really be too sure if it's a man or a woman.
Yeah.
So that's implementing more confusion.
Right.
But like this goes into what Revelation 17 verse 1, and they came one of the 7 angels, which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Right.
Now, if you look at all other kingdoms that ever reigned before this enterprise, it was all patriarchal. Man was the head. All right, and that's how it was in society. The man was the head of the household. You know, women were, servants to men, cooking, cleaning, okay, baking, all them things there. Okay, they were in the house for the most part. The man was out there getting the bread, bringing home the so-called bacon. Okay, and it was like that in America once upon a time. Okay, until like that feminism came out, where they pushed the woman into the jobs, department. Okay, exactly.
And it's really for 2 things. It's to go because it goes back to the Queen of Heaven worship, and it's also so that the women can also pay taxes as well.
Right, yeah. And destroy the household. Going back to what Nick Rockefeller and Aaron Russo, the discussion that he had, and Aaron Russo exposed the whole, agenda that Nick Rockefeller had told him that the reason why they put women on a level was to destroy the households.
That is right.
Which goes into the depopulation of planet Earth. They want to find different methods to depopulate the people. Okay, to prevent sex from happening between man and a woman, to discourage multiple pregnancies and people being born, and the population is all a way to control it.
What you're saying, because I was going to say this earlier, it's just to weaken the nations, man, because ultimately their goal is to control us, which is never going to happen. That's not part of your plan, but that's the point. The point is that if they're emasculating the men and
emasculating the women and effeminizing the men,
and the women are falling into the trap because it's false.